This is Culture Clubbing. Música, moda, tecnología, gastronomía, DJs y productores de todo el mundo. Todo esto y más aquí en Culture Clubbing. Hemos quedado con Cici Rogers en el estudio de grabación. Está preparando sus nuevos temas y nos ha dicho que tiene una sorpresa preparada. ¿Qué será? Estamos aquí con unas leyendas del house. Tenemos a Cici Rogers y Bob Sinclair en Culture Clubbing en los estudios de grabación con muchas sorpresas. Good afternoon, Cici.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. I'm great to see you here in Amsterdam.
Good to see you as well.
It's the third time that we're meeting,
Yes.
and we have many news.
Yes.
First,
Yes, I'm here in Amsterdam working with my good friend Bob Sinclair.
hi Bob, how are you?
¿Cómo estás?
Fantástica. ¿Y tú?
Perfecto. ¿Cómo te dices? Muy bien.
Muy bien. Here together after how much time you haven't been meeting? This is
5 years. 5 years.
5 years.
2014 was the last record we did. In 2014, I Want You.
Yeah,
I
we
say
made a
5
record
years?
together, yeah. Went very, very nice
Yeah.
everywhere. I love working with Cici. He's a legend and his voice is it's very soulful, so I love it so much.
And this new project that you are creating, because we are here for news.
Yeah,
Is it?
It's a secret, you know. It's actually
We
it's,
can't
it's,
tell
it's,
you
it's an
everything.
accident. It's a
It's
beautiful
a-
accident.
Yeah, because we've been trying to work together. I think that Chris is one of the best. He's a great DJ, as everyone knows, but he's also one of the best producers in this game because he has such a, to be a producer and a good producer, you really got to know the old and the new to do the new. And it's funny because every time I'm sitting down with him, whether it's on the phone or Skype, he'll pull out stuff. I'm older than him, but he'll pull out stuff that I've never heard of musically. And to me, some of the best DJs that I've ever worked with, from Marshall Jefferson to some of the old ones, Sam and Dave's producer and Philadelphia International. Those guys were like encyclopedias of music. No matter what they hear, melody, they can always find it. And Chris is one of the few newer DJs or of our generation that is exactly like that. I mean,
Thank you, Cici.
you'll pull
I
it
love
out.
when
Yeah.
he compares me to the legends I love so much. But my music is passion, so.
Yeah.
But I love the way that I arrive in music through the DJ thing, through the recycle of music, through the hip hop, the hip hop concept about the DJs, the MCs, the graffiti, the dance, everything at the same time. All the clubbing thing arrive at the end of the 80s. This dynamic, the rhythm machine, synthesizer, all was new, very exciting. So I arrived into this music world without being a musician, but then I said my ears hear things. So I listen a lot of records, a lot of classics, and when I'm in studio with Cici, with amazing talented artists, it's happiness for me because I have always melodies in my head and I said, it could be like this, it could be like this, and I want to play that kind of music in the club. So always DJs and club oriented my music, always for the dance.
Yeah, and this is nothing new with the French-American connection. If you remember when jazz was when its beginning phases in the 40s and 50s, it would actually become much more popular because the French would embrace it and make it avant-garde. In fact, a lot of American, Sonny Rollins, Oscar Peterson, a lot of the American jazz musicians would move to Paris and live in France because there was not just a better appreciation for jazz at the time. I'm sorry, America, but I'm telling you the history, okay? But the French would import and to this day, you know, and it would become a big change. So it's the same thing with house music, with what Bob has done and the different producers that I know that I've had the pleasure of working with. They bring a different sound, you know, love for the hip hop, love for the R&B, and add on to what we already have. So
it's a mix of the French touch and the American style, no?
Yeah.
We could say.
No, yeah, we get inspired by the American classics,
Yeah.
DJs and legends, and we made our cuisine. You know,
Yeah.
we are good in
exactly.
we are good in
I like it, cuisine, exactly.
cuisine.
That's how it does it, yeah.
So, and then we went back with a lot of respect, and then music is an exchange of ideas, of
Absolutely.
music.
And
So-
right now it's
Energy.
a 360 because Chris and I, who we've been in the game for a little while, is seeing the return of the classic house. So
Real
what happened-
classic.
The real classic.
With the
Well,
touch
Chris
of
reached
the-
out to me. Chris saw this happening even 5 years ago. I mean, when he reached out to me and called me, he was one of the first DJs to say, "CC is coming back," and so he reached out, and that's how we did I Want You. And then after I Want You, a few years later, all of a sudden, everybody's calling, and I'm like, wow, I'm kind of like a veteran, and so I'm very happy to be with Chris because Chris was one of the first to like tag me on the shoulder and say, "Yo, it's coming back. Get ready, okay? Let's do a record together." By the way.
And you can tell us if there's going to be show on it, not just music or like live
Oh, we don't know
style?
yet. You know, we're just in the
Ah,
process
just in
of
the
creation.
process.
We are in studio. You know,
Okay.
CC is doing magic with the melodies, words. We have also two amazing guys, Curtis and Charlene, who are in the studio. So we are together, four of us, sharing energy, music, melodies, and words, inspiration from everywhere. And then after, I love to have this exchange of energy, and then get birth to a song that
Yeah.
everybody can listen and
Yeah.
play. It's I love this. It's the process to do it, because we're struggling, and then at one moment the hook is there, and wow, we're all happy. So it's unbelievable. I love the process of creation.
Because making a hit is so
We
difficult.
we're not doing hits. We're working for the house music culture. Hits
Right.
is something else.
Right.
We want to touch. We want to play the music to make the people dance. You know what I mean with it. Just having fun and feel good emotions. It's the first step. DJ oriented, club oriented. It's our scene. Because back in the days, even disco, even after house music was mainly underground and mainly listened by mature people.
See.
Today, after EDM and after all this crossover, big hits, everybody thinks that what we do is for radio station, but at the beginning, it's not our main direction. And then, if we are lucky, of course, the clubbing, they spread the words, making the hype on the track, and the radio, everything can happen if the track is doing good in clubs.
So you are making a track or an album?
No, we are making a track for the moment.
I hope so.
But
to-
CC is working on an album at the moment.
Yeah.
He wants songs, so he will
Yeah.
call the producer he loves.
Yeah, which Chris will be one of them, because Chris understands my message. Some of the things that we were doing in the studio today, we immediately went to a song of being positive about, talking about social issues, because that was one of the roots of house music, of what I was about. Several of my songs was always about us living together, being peace, can we live, brothers and sisters, Promised Land, which I didn't write, but I've been performing Promised Land. Big love to Joe Smooth. But someday. And so, Chris hones in on that, and we make it, not so much that we're trying to make it for radio or making hit, we try to make it that people understand it, and people understand our message, because there's many people in house music. This is why house music is the most popular in the world. You want to call it EDM, you want to call it whatever you want to call it, but it's house music, okay? And the thing is that we want to educate even these young DJs out who calls it something else and not understand. Can't be a good DJ if you don't know the old or know the foundation of where it comes from. And then to my American brothers and sisters who they're beginning to lighten up, because a lot of them are starting to come up to Europe. They'll go like, oh my God, because hip hop is still rules in America, on American radio, hip hop and pop. Not so much house, but it's changing. So I use the example is that you would know this, but in America, when you say what is the biggest sport in the world, most Americans say American football. No. American football is not the biggest sport in the world. Soccer is the biggest sport in the world. So when you go in America, what's the biggest music in the world? Oh, hip hop or pop. And then you come over here and all you hear is dance music on every radio station, from here to China to Singapore to Asia to Australia. That's the biggest music in the world. And I'm fortunate to be part of that. You agree?
That's
Fortunate for sure.
Yeah.
And what do you think about the reggaeton music and this style that is also bumping into the...
It's dance music.
It's dance
Yeah.
music?
Dance music can be from hip hop to house to, you know, we do house music, but it's not my thing. I don't play it. It became very, very popular, and when you listen a few songs on a roll on the radio with the same beats and the same kind of melody, now it became big. But at the beginning, when I was listening La Gasolina like 10 years ago, it was very underground.
Yeah.
So it was good to hear something different. But now it's an invasion of the same sound. Everybody wants to make money, so
Yeah.
But it's cool.
So to answer your question about the live stuff, I don't think Chris knew that I was on the island and that I was doing a residency at Blue Marlin, but he was doing a residency at Hart, the La Troya parties. And it was only because I was just coming back in. So the live thing, he's one of the few DJs, if he saw me show up, he'll come up and hand me the mic and have me sing. Because that's what we used to do. That's the love of house music. And you know, so I am going to crash this party next
Sure.
I'm gonna and we're going to have some fun. So, yeah.
What do you think people would expect from this talk? You speaking about your history or about house music or...
I only speak what I know, and I don't know everything about the European invasion. I just know what house has done for me, the inception of it. And you know, what I would tell them is use my life story, how I was a classical, jazz, R&B musician, and you know, I was, like he just said, a mistake. You know, I went to sing on a track that I didn't even think was going to do anything. It was a demo track. And it would become the footprint of my life someday. I had no clue. In fact, when I went out to Chicago to sing it, I was like, this is a joke, right? And, you know, fast forward 30 years, it is my life, you know, and I'm thankful to Marshall Jefferson, to my management, to those people who, when I was on one direction, and it was like, okay, CC, you should think about this, because fortunately I don't look as beautiful as Chris here. So I had to I wasn't that pretty. I was you know, in 1987 I was a big fat kid, and I wasn't what the, you know, because I was shopping for a deal, and then I remember all the records. Oh, he has a great voice and he's a musician, but we can't market this guy, you know, he's big, he's, you know, not marketable. And so house music was one of those situations where they didn't care how you look or how heavy you or it was like you can sing, you have a message. You know, in the beginning of house music, it was one of the few places. Now, I don't know, in Paris or wherever, we don't have like gay clubs in America no more. Wow. And if they do, they're not like, you know, they're in the South. Like, there is no gay clubs in New York now. There's clubs, and gays, lesbians, they all come together. That was unheard of in the 80s. And it was only in house music that someone like Frankie Knuckles or different could go to a show, and straight, gay, queer, whatever you want to call it, would come in and play and sing all night long, love each other, happy. Even Studio 54, it was that kind of movement where it was really all about people, black, white, didn't make a difference, you know? And that's what and this is why house music is so important to me.
Well, thank you so much for this interview. I appreciate. I know you have not a lot of time, and
we are going back to the session. So
Yeah,
thanks
we're
for having us.
thank
Yeah,
you. I have so many questions to ask you, but I think that we will have another one,
Okay.
another session
Another time.
after this
Okay.
this song, or maybe
Yeah, of course we will do
for
promo. Don't worry.
some.
Thank you.
Okay.
Gracias.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah. El coordinador y vicepresidente del Instituto de Autor. Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
¿Qué tal aquí en ADE, aquí en Ámsterdam?
Pues bien, la verdad es que muy bien, una experiencia muy grata, maravillosa, como viene siendo habitualmente. La verdad es que hacen un trabajo excelente la gente de los organizadores de ADE y es un punto de encuentro muy positivo para pues, establecer esas relaciones, poner caras muchas veces tanto a socios de las entidades de gestión, en este caso de SGAE, y bueno, también no solamente socios, usuarios de repertorio, proveedores de sistemas de identificación de música, en fin, muy satisfactorio para todo ese tipo de
¿Hace
encuentros.
cuántos años que vienes representando al Instituto de Autor?
Pues si no me equivoco, este es el cuarto año, sí. Y bueno, pues eso, la actividad viene siendo al final un poco la misma, con caras distintas cada año. Otras veces vienen siendo las mismas, pero también desde un punto de vista muy grato. Por ejemplo, ¿no? Aquí con Igor Marijuán, compañero de Ibiza Sónica, que amablemente nos ha cedido el espacio. Aquí, bueno, pues todos los años trato de pasarme a verle unos minutos y bueno, pues muy bien en general.
Nos gustaría saber qué es Instituto de Autor y si principalmente es para socios de SGAE.
Bueno, desde el Instituto de Derecho a Autor, el Instituto de Derecho a Autor es una organización perteneciente al grupo de SGAE. SGAE, además de ser una entidad de gestión de derechos, también desarrolla otras actividades a través de otras organizaciones, ¿no? Esas actividades son muy diversas. Desde el Instituto de Derecho a Autor, nuestro rol es, tenemos una actividad de consultoría, de análisis para la entidad de gestión desde un punto de vista jurídico y también de negocio. Pues hacemos mucho trabajo de investigación, estar continuamente con la actualidad del mercado de los derechos de autor y toda esa información canalizarla de acuerdo con las necesidades que en cada momento tiene la entidad. También, por otro lado, pues desarrollamos actividades más, diríamos, para todos los públicos, ¿no? Son ya contenido accesible tanto a los propios socios como para profesionales de la industria en general, con perfiles muy variados, pues desde juristas, agentes, promotores, emisoras, volcando también esa información de la que solemos nutrirnos, pues con todos esos agentes, ¿no? Y esto lo hacemos pues a través de publicaciones, organización de conferencias cursos de formación, etcétera, etcétera, ¿no?
Actualmente el Instituto de Autor se decanta mucho por la música electrónica o por todos los estilos musicales.
Bueno, nos debemos a la música en general, no solamente a la música, también trabajamos en materias relacionadas con otros nichos culturales, como pueda ser la industria audiovisual, la parte también más relacionada con teatro, con dramaturgos, coreógrafos, en definitiva aquellos ámbitos que son los que se trabajan en la propia entidad de gestión, ¿no? en SGAE. Y bueno, son muy variados, ¿no? Y dentro de ello pues tratamos también de adentrarnos en aquellos géneros que por las singularidades que tengan pues merecen de una atención específica, como pues en los últimos años ha venido siendo la música electrónica, ¿no? En relación con música electrónica, además de estar presentes en eventos de este tipo como ADE, o en España solemos acudir al Sonar, también al IMS que se hace en Ibiza, pues bueno, también recientemente publicamos un estudio sobre el estado de la música electrónica en España, en el que bueno, pues, hacíamos un análisis del consumo de este género musical en distintos niveles, ¿no? Música grabada, eventos en directo, también todo ese consumo del género a través de canales de radiodifusión como las televisiones, radios, en fin, hacer una panorámica sobre el estado de la cuestión en España, ¿no? Bueno, es una entre otras varias iniciativas que desarrollamos, pero sí, como digo, no es solo música electrónica, sino en general varias industrias culturales.
Desde el café Queen's Head de Amsterdam estamos con Terry B, una de las cantantes precursoras y más emblemáticas de la música y de la escena house aquí en ADE en Amsterdam. Good night, Terry.
Hola, hola chicos, chicas, ya, yo soy Terry B.
Un placer, a pleasure having you here with us.
Muchas gracias, thank you so much.
Well, you are in Amsterdam promoting your new song?
Yeah, well, I'm here with Carrillo Music, Rock Carrillo, one of my longtime friends. I achieved 2 #1 Billboard records with him and his label. And so we now are promoting the Weather Girls' new single that I co-wrote and co-produced, and Rod is the releasing label. And as well, I have a lot of new music and a soul project, and especially for Spain, you know, I had #1 in Spain. Yo tengo #1 en España con Tuvimos, con Hola, amantes. So for me, it's like home, you know. España es mi casa.
España es tu casa y for 40,000 million listeners in Spotify. Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
Quite a lot.
Yeah.
And the new song that you are starting to promote, what does it sound like?
Well, I'm promoting a couple of different things. So right now I have a new single with Earth and Days. That's a thing called Walk on Water. Classic soulful house. And then I have my soul project, the Terry Green Project, which is a throwback soul that is now being reinterpreted by Frank Starr from the UK, and Rock Carrillo will do a mix, and several other known DJs. And as well, I'm promoting my voice is also on the Cheek to Cheek single with the ladies. So, and Norwood, who is from Atlanta, a Pride rising star. So he played Pride Madrid last year. And so I think everyone knows him. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You got me caught up in your loving, stuck here in your lovesick mind. Ooh, but I've been trying to pick myself up off the floor, and I'd be lying. Said I don't want you anymore. You got my blind heart holding on to you, and I don't know where it's going or what it will do. And I try to Just let it be. Just let it be. Come on, put your hands up. Just let it be. Just let it be. Just let it be. Just let it be.
So this year you're going to come to Spain to the Pride?
I would love to come. I'm always trying to figure out how to do it, but Miss Sandy's going to invite me. But I've always been supportive of LGBTQ events. Tonight, the Cafe the Queen's Cat is a gay bar. So come on out. Next time you visit Amsterdam, it's gorgeous. And thank you, Sandy. You've always been my good friend and supporter. So I'm very proud to be on Clubbing TV with you.
Culture Clubbing TV.
I'm very proud to be on Culture Clubbing TV with you.
Thank you, Terry, for always having these new projects, new music, new life, because it gets to us like this house and soulful in the soul. And what I want also to make the viewers know is about the new DJs that you're working.
Right, I'm working with Joey Negro right now in London. We're working out what track I'm actually going to do by the time we play together next February. I'm working on a new single with Rod Carrillo again. You Got Me, You Got, what is the single called? It's called, Rod, what's the single called? You Got What I Need. I did too. You Got What I Need was very successful with Traxsource. A lot of DJs played the record, and I achieved a top 20 Beatport, but I've done a lot of charts and successes with records. So I'm very happy to still do soulful music, and the people love it. Yeah.
Of course, they love
Tonight at my party, I took several famous DJs in their different genres. Olwick, a very young DJ, and also the classic DJs like myself. I'm going to play soulful house tonight. That's the only kind of music I DJ. I will never DJ anything else.
Not reggaeton?
Nah, I leave that to Carrillo. He's Latino, he can do it better. Yeah, just really funky, soulful stuff is what I like.
So today also playing and singing at the same time?
Yeah. I'm gonna play tonight with Carrillo. We're doing a back-to-back, and hopefully we plan to take House My Disco is our brand, party brand, and we want to bring that. It's always including sometimes live musicians, sometimes not, and also includes always guest vocalists. And Rod and I will tour probably Europe first with that, and maybe by next year Ibiza, hopefully, to get a residency, because I know how to bring the people in. I think he and I together are like, know everybody in this business, so yeah.
And your full energy for everybody. Thank you so much, Terry, for your interview, and
thank you.
Want to see you there in the decks.
Yeah, and thank you. One of the hottest DJs, Sandy, is also amazing. And I played with you a couple of times now, and you're a great soul and a great artist, and I love it that you thought of us. Thank you so much. People can check us out on www.terryb.com and check out Spotify. Carrillo Music has several tracks and playlists with our music.
I will put some of the songs if you let me.
Perfect. Do it.
A pleasure. Thank you.